Hey everyone, welcome back to another lesson here on the channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how to make epic changes to your Amazon FBA private label without having to spend an epic amount of money, right? We always talk about customizing it, making it better than your competition. We don't necessarily want to spend, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just to change it up, just to find out maybe people didn't like what you changed. So if that sounds like something you're interested in watching, be sure to stick around to the end. Be sure to like and subscribe down below if you haven't already. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to kick this off with is we're just going to click on a random product here. I just pulled up Opportunity Finder, put in some filters, went through here. Obviously, I didn't plan this one because this one doesn't look very good at all. But the market doesn't have to look good. You guys, a lot of you know what you're looking for market-wise, and if you don't, I have videos about that. We're going to be talking about how to change things, so it's not going to matter. So in this case, I'm going to be showing you two methods today. Let's just jump right into the first one. The first one is using a design change and not having to come up with the design yourself, using proof of concept from other designs that work well. So a lot of the time, if we're doing like these sticker-on peel kitchen tiles, right, we can notice there's actually not a lot of differentiation here. A lot of them are just white peel-on tiles, they're called subway tiles. Maybe that's the specific style. So maybe white's the most popular. But again, almost all of these are just white, normal-looking tile stick-ons. So what I could then go and do is take that exact search term. And this isn't anything new, right? I've told you about the Pinterest idea, but we could just take that search term that we copied, put it right into Pinterest. And specifically, I wanted to talk to you about why this isn't going to cost a ton of money a lot of the time. We're getting similar designs here. And like I said, that's probably stemming from the idea that we had the word subway tile in there. So subway tile is referring mostly to white tile, I'm guessing. But here we have this blue one, right? That's a little bit different. And I noticed one of the main changes that I'm seeing here we have a bit different color as well, is these really dense grout lines. And then in this case, the hexagon shapes, right? So we could do hexagon white tile wallpaper or backsplash with dark grout lines. When we come over here, we see very thin, some of them have dark, thin grout lines, but there's the first one with dense ones, okay? And I don't see anything that's hexagonal. So it's going to be a very cheap and easy change to do something that's already, appealing, like a sticker or a wood, something that you're not getting molding fees with, right? You're not specifically, reshaping a metal product, creating a new part. You're not reshaping a plastic product. Actually, someone just listed this. But either way, the concept works the same. So this is, like I said, a really competitive market. I'm here to show you the concept, not actually do it with this product. Right? So going and getting a design that's slightly different, and then all I would do is I'd copy that exact design, I would send it to my supplier, and I'd ask them if they can make that. Once I have confirmation they can make it, I might spend a little bit more time trying to make it my own. Like maybe I combine both. So I do a marble inside of a hexagon with a dark grout line. Now I have something completely unique. Does that make sense? So moving on, we're going to go into the method number 2 that I was talking about. And specifically for this, I wanted to go to a market here's a really good example. Floating shelf 24x8. So specifically people looking for a very specific dimension. I don't know why I just said that word twice. That's all right though. No shame there. So with a product like this, we could have, proof of concept of design from another market. We could go look at floating shelf, see which floating shelf sells the best. And we could use that wood or that wood grain. And already if we just did that, now we have a little bit of a differentiation. But then we take it a step further and we look for a customer that's looking for a very unique design or a very certain length. Like this one is 24x8 inch. That was the search term from the customers. If we come in here and we notice, hey, only 6 of these are actually 24x8 inches. And out of those, they don't have the most popular whitewashed rustic design. So now I could take both of what we just went through, right? Go to Pinterest and look for a new design. Yes, some of us know about that. Some of us don't, so I included it. But then making the changes for cheap is what we're really focused on today. So not having those really crazy molding costs. So then what I would go into is I would start looking for things that are made out of wood, things that are made out of paper, made out of fabric, things that are easy to change. If you want to change something for cheap, think about the material cost of doing so. With wood, we could literally just cut it down to a new length. We can alter it. We could even change the hardware. Ask them what kinds of different installation methods that they have available for this shelving. You could look at new brackets for underneath. All of those become options when we work with a material that's really easy to modify. So if you were trying to sell the hardware itself and there was only this one kind of hardware and you wanted to make a fundamental change to that hardware, you're going to have that supplier create new molds for that hardware to get it the shape that you want it. So this is all making sense, right? So when you're trying to change things that are metal or plastic that require molding, you're going to have a much more expensive differentiation if you want to customize it. Trying to change things like fabric, stickers, paper, knit things, wooden things, a lot of the things in the home decor space, really. You're going to end up with changes that end up being cheaper because it's not expensive to manipulate that material into something else. We could either cut it down, we could come up with a design separately on Fiverr and then bring that to the supplier. All they have to do is print it on that material. All of those things work, right? And then it's just a matter of you reaching out to suppliers and getting the prices for maybe 3 to 5 suppliers and seeing who could do it for the most effective costs. So let's just do a quick recap before we go. And I'm going to give you a little homework assignment. So we're going to go for a new design based on proof of concept elsewhere. Pinterest is going to rank the designs that sell the best at the top, obviously. So we know that all the ones that are furthest up are the ones that are working the best. You do something like that wooden style one. That one's promoted. So maybe that one's not the best actually, but that's the concept. And then using materials that are easy to customize. So maybe don't look for products if you want to customize a product that's hard to customize for cheap. Okay, so stay away from those metal, those silicone things where you're actually going to need molding costs. Those are usually what's expensive. And then the MOQ for something that's so custom like that usually ends up going up as well. And that's where it gets really expensive. And then lastly, having your design ready for the supplier, not making the supplier make the design. Get your outsourced, designer on Fiverr or something, make the change you want to make in the case of something like getting it printed, and then just send that file to the supplier to be printed in bulk. So that's going to do it for today's video. Really quick before we go, I did say I was going to give you a homework assignment. I want you to find a product, and I want you to do those 2 steps for it. And then you could just do that. That's your homework assignment, right? Just doing that over and over again will get you used to doing it. If you want to take an extra step, you could go in the comments down below and share the results from your homework assignment. That's going to do it for today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Later.